let's not waste no time. This is something that I haven't eaten in a while in terms of like the combo of chili cheese dogs and Doritos. So man, let's get into this because I'm ready. By the way, jalapenos and sour cream. This can't be a good chili cheese dog. Adding minced garlic, a little barbecue sauce, and smoked paprika, onion powder, and a little mustard to the chili. So it's got a strong garlicky taste. Sugar-free lemonade, y'all know the vibes. Would you not eat this? No matter what time of day, no matter the season or whatever, chili cheese dogs will always hit. I would say today was the most productive day of my vacation thus far because, you know, earlier in the day around like 7-ish, 8-ish or whatever, went in, I took a little walk around the neighborhood, nothing crazy. about a maybe a 35-minute, 40-minute walk or so. But it felt good. Like, outside was beautiful. It had a nice breeze. It wasn't raining. The sun wasn't out, so it wasn't like really hot or anything like that. It was relaxing. So me and my brother were just walking around, you know, and we was by this this little clinic or whatever. I think that's an area for like when you want to donate blood. I think, I'm not sure, but we was walking by some kind of like grayish building or whatever, and this light-skinned lady was parking like this dark car, and she was getting out of the car with her daughter or something, and she was gorgeous. And the only reason why I'm mentioning that is because, like, obviously she's like right in front of us, and she's getting out and walking that way. We're trying to walk that way to the path where we gotta go to get back home. And I don't know, I just felt like she was kind of staring a little bit at me. I was wearing shorts, cause she was looking like below the belt, so I don't know. I don't know if she was looking at the shorts. She was interested in the shorts, or I don't know. But she was gorgeous. I was looking right back at her. Not like a creep or nothing, but you know. But yeah, you know, then went back home, and eventually decided to go ahead and, you know, give myself a fresh haircut, as y'all can see. So that's kind of like what I want to talk about anyway, is the haircut. Because ever since I made that decision that I was going to consistently cut my own hair, I was going to buy better clippers and trimmers and stuff and cut my own hair, I've been going at it, you know. Obviously I've made certain mistakes because I had a certain like a vision for my hairstyle, and because I'm not a barber and I can't find no kind of specific video online that can help me, you know, be able to 100% accurately scoped out the vision that I have for my hair. I just gotta go with the flow, and whatever happens happens. That's why in previous you know, previous months, previous videos, whatever, I probably look a little bit more crazy than other times. Ever since that one time last year where I got the best haircut of my life, as I still call it, I had like the little, it was kind of like a high top, kind of like, and it had the hard part and everything, because that's what I wanted. And then I obviously curl it and stuff like that. But I eventually had got back into wanting to do like the little fro hawk thing. And I was like, imagine a fro hawk with a bald fade and a hard part in the front. So very months ago, earlier in the year, around like January, February, or whatever, was the last time I got a haircut. And I went by the spot that's like right there by the house. It's like a 2-minute walk. Latino guys or whatever. Now they're cool. They, you know, they do good haircuts and everything. And the haircut itself wasn't bad. Obviously, it was I would probably say the second best haircut I had in my life. The problem was it didn't really envision what it was I was going for. I told him to cut it at a 3. Obviously I didn't understand haircuts like that, so cut it too low. The length I had before then was probably like perfect. It was kind of like this, maybe a little long, a little shorter, somewhere around there. This is a 7, I think, a 7 or a 6. But like I said, the haircut was still great. He almost forgot the hard part. I told him, you know what I'm saying, go and put the part in, whatever. Obviously, it didn't look as crispy as the other cut because that was done by a black guy with that haircut, and he also was using enhancements. That's why the front like lineup and everything was just like so crispy. I guess with like short hair, like my hair is like real short, like a 3 or below, and how it was, you can get by natural and it'll work. But with me being so hell-bent on having the hard part because I want that to be part of my identity, like I want people to be able to identify me with this hairstyle and the hard part. And even if I don't have hair in the back and it's more like a high top, hard part. I had short all around, even like fade, hard part. Either way it goes, I want the hard part. It's just, I mess with it, man. I really do. And I understand that if not done right, it can look crazy. I've obviously messed myself up pretty much every time I've done the hard part. I feel like I didn't go too crazy with it this time. It still don't look as good as I want it to be, but that's not like no easy thing to do, you know, when you have hair. If I had like, if the hair on my head was like short, like the short part around here, it'd probably be easier because I don't have hair in the way, worrying about if I'm cutting into the hair and all that. It's complicated. You have to have hair and be a guy and cut hair to understand what I'm talking about. But the point I'm trying to make is that regardless if I fully know that I'm be able to pull off the cut I'm trying to do, I'm not a barber. I'm a regular ass dude. I'm cutting my own hair because it saved money, saved time. I was never consistent with going to barbers anyway. I always would switch up and go to a different barber instead of staying with the same one. So I figured the best case scenario for me is to just cut my own hair. I'll be my own barber. I can be consistent with it, and I am. So the haircuts may not be the best in terms of being fully well executed. The blends may not always be perfect. The front part may be kind of like, I definitely kind of like jacked myself up because I figured for a hard part, for me to do it myself, I don't know how the other guy did it, but for me to do it myself, I would need a part of this to kind of blend in with this part that's higher than the fade, but shorter than the hair. It'd have to be short. I feel like I'd have better control and visual when I add the hard part. I guess it wasn't always conveying that way, I guess, so that's why I'm kind of letting it grow, and it's not growing fast as I thought. It hasn't been that long, but still. So I figured also, because I also got like a weird like thing on this corner that like I don't know what you'll call that. I'm not balding, it's just how it grows. Since having hair, obviously, it's kind of, it's hard to explain. It's kind of messed up. So I got enhancements to kind of, you know, kind of even those things out a bit and everything. So I was telling my mom about it. She's like, oh, you don't need enhancements. That's for people thin hair and balding. It's not so much that I'm balding. It's, I know why I needed it. Like, I wasn't trying to argue or nothing. But I'm not trying to tell nobody to not go to a barber. Spend what money you want to spend. Get your haircuts, your edge ups, all that stuff, whatever. I don't care. But if you're somebody who watches who ever thought about cutting your own hair, just do it. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna look crazy. I go out in public with every haircut I've given myself, even before YouTube and everything, when I was still working at McDonald's. When I used to cut my hair then, I really looked at retarded, like seriously. But you gotta put yourself in a space to be able to do what needs to be done if that's what you want. So I trust myself to make myself look good and to make myself look ridiculous. The only complaint I would have is about the hair itself, because right when I first started to cut my hair and everything, if y'all can remember, I put an S curl on my head to give it more of that wet curl kind of look, I guess you could say. I like that look a lot more than the sponge curl look. Like, it's cool and everything, but some people would just be making that stuff look bad because it'd be looking all dry and nappy, and maybe that's the way it's supposed to look. But I like to look, I would like for my hair to not look dry and rough. Even if I feel on it, especially in the back, and it's soft, but still. So, I'll say it's been like, what, 2, maybe 3 months since I put the S curl in. Curling products don't work for it no more. I know they say, you know, you gotta wait 6 months before you put another S curl in, and I don't want nobody thinking that I'm gonna make that a habit, because I know that could probably damage your hair, obviously. But that's the kind of look that I want. I want that kind of, like, you know, because the whole vision was a little wet S curl, fro hawk, ball fade, hard part. And then I put on the little glasses and look extra sophisticated. Come on, man, what are we talking about? I'm telling you, your boy had visions for looks. I know there was a lot of moments throughout my YouTube career where I was looking crazy. That's because I didn't have a vision at those times. And I didn't know if I wanted to go back to like growing my hair out and getting dreads or braids or whatever the case may be. I didn't know if I wanted to just cut it and have it real low. I didn't know what I wanted. So I'm still mad that my mustache sucks, so I can't have the I can't have like a full mustache. I wanted to sport the Eddie Murphy, as I like to call it. You know, I'm not a fan of facial hair like that, but I wanted that, but I can't because my mustache don't grow like his. It grows like thick in like the ends, around the corners of my mouth, and then the top parts be thin. It sucks. So I tolerate a little bit of a beard. I have a little, would you call this a goatee? Goatee or whatever. So, you know. But yeah, walking felt good. I gotta get into the mindset of doing that and trying to do it every day, even if it's just for like 30 minutes or so, because I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but I definitely feel like I'm kind of getting back up there in weight. And I know y'all probably thinking, oh, Doug, look at the food you eat. But y'all forgetting that I started my channel by the time I started my channel, I was already kind of like on that pathway of like losing weight. And with all the different videos and stuff that I ate and everything, I was still, losing weight, So it has nothing to do with what I'm eating. It's how I've been eating and how I kind of been going heavy on like cookies and cakes and all that other kind of stuff. Because even then when I was losing weight, I'd still kind of snack on candy and have some cereal. But it was still under control with the intermittent fasting. But now it's like, even though I'm still intermittent fasting, everything else has just been kind of like, amped up. I'm telling you, it's the sweets that's gonna get me, not this. Ate this plenty of times, pizza, burgers, all that, and so. Now today is Friday, but when y'all see this video, you'll probably see this video on Sunday, because the video that you're actually going to see today on Friday, the video you're actually going to see on Friday, the Fruity Pebbles video, that's a video I shot early, and then that same day I shot the Red Beans video. And that was supposed to be Monday, Tuesday, I think. Or Tuesday, Wednesday. But the whole McDonald's, Burger King, all that kind of stuff happened. So I prioritized those videos, especially because the month was ending. I'd be like, I'll go ahead and still upload those videos. I'm going to need them, for content. So yeah, so Friday, so I'm recording this video today on Friday, but you're gonna see it on Sunday. The Fruity Pebbles video is Friday. The video you seen yesterday, which would be Thursday, which would be Saturday, is Red Beans. And then this video. But if I'm going to preach or whatever, anything on this channel, is that one, you can eat how I'm eating and you can still lose weight, or at the very least maintain. Eating like this doesn't mean that you gotta become a house, alright? Let's get that straight. Second, you can cut your own hair. I'm saving $35, $40, $50 every 2 weeks or whatever by cutting my own hair. So, number 3, if you're walking outside and this beautiful woman with her daughter is kind of staring at your legs or whatever, maybe she's complimenting you, saying that you got nice legs without telling you. I dated a girl like 2 years ago or so that told me, she was like the first one that ever really told me I had amazing legs. And I never believed it at first, but then I started like noticing how even when I started kind of gaining weight, and the rest of my body would kind of like, you know, become pillows and stuff, my legs remain solid. I'm not sitting there saying like the thighs aren't rock hard muscle, obviously. There is some squeeze there, but in terms of like just like the shape of it and how it like the knee to the calves and everything, it's, you wouldn't say a fat person has legs like that. You wouldn't even say chubby person has legs like that. You wouldn't look at my legs and say, oh my god, this dude is fat. Just like you wouldn't look at my arms and say that either. I be seeing the little cuts and stuff that my arms be doing sometimes in certain like poses. Stop playing with me, man. But in all seriousness, that's gonna be it for this video. I love y'all, appreciate y'all. Until next until next time, peace out.